Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And am doing a spur of the moment video after finding out here recently that our newly elected mayor, Cara Spencer, has decided that starting on Monday, that the city of St. Louis will stop issuing new city construction contracts under its minority and women-owned business enterprise. Mayor Cara Spencer says the changes are necessary to avoid losing access to critical federal disaster recovery funds, including funds tied to the May 16th tornado. She said that St. Louis faces challenging decisions on how to respond to federal demands to eliminate some policies and programs designed to overcome systemic racism and discrimination. So we are at a point now, as a result of the tornado, and FEMA has been here, and there was over $1.6 billion worth of damage that took place. North St. Louis took the brunt of most of the storm. I wanted to do this video because I remember during the debate with ex-mayor Tashara Jones and newly elected mayor Cara Spencer. Miss Spencer was saying all kinds of things about what needed to change if she became the mayor. And she talked about right from the very beginning about potholes needed to be filled. She talked about crazy, unnecessary, reckless driving, too many temp tags. People are driving without license plates, without insurance. And after her 100 days, none of those things have taken place and have been done. I have not seen one street service program with the city streets department fill any potholes whatsoever. The number of individuals that drive crazy and extemporaneously on Highway 70 from the city all the way to the airport, Highway 44 from the city all the way to 270, driving north and south on Kings Highway, north and south on Grand, east and west on Page. It is like the Indianapolis 500. So what has she done? There's been a lot of rhetoric. There's been a lot of hand waving, even during her debate with ex-mayor Tashara Jones. She was loud and proud about what the immediate changes she was going to do once she got into office. And she's done nothing. And unfortunately, for ex-mayor Tashara Jones, in my personal opinion, I don't think that she did enough, especially for her comrades in North St. Louis. And secondarily, it was Tashara Jones's race to lose and not Cara Spencer's race to win. I think also that the constituents and the tax-paying citizens and voters did not come out in droves for Tashara Jones. North St. Louis did not represent. There was something like less than 10% of actualized voters who even voted in the primary or in the election cycle for the mayor. So I think North St. Louis particularly let Tashara Jones down. But I think she could have done more with new businesses and infrastructure in North St. Louis to kind of show that she was doing quite a bit for the people of her base, and that did not happen. So this young lady, Cara Spencer, who's been an alder person for a number of years, made such an uproar about what she was going to do in office to change things, and nothing has been done. And then subsequently, we have this devastating tornado that took place, and there's supposed to be $10 million in ARPA funds There was supposed to be 20 or $30 million that was going to be released from the Rams settlement, and there was alleged offerings from the governor that the state of Missouri was going to input maybe $100 million to help with the relief funds from the tornado, and nobody has seen a dollar, not $1. So the potholes have not been filled. We're not seeing police officers on Highway 70 stopping folks with reckless driving and expired or temp tags. We're not seeing traffic stops on Grand, Kings Highway, Page, any of those major streets. You're not seeing, you're seeing police officers drive around, and you do see in Maryland Heights, out there on between Highway 70 and 270, all the way to Highway 40, that north and south corridor, I'm seeing Maryland Heights and state troopers pulling people over and giving them tickets. But where is the cachet of our public safety and our police officers stopping and ticketing these individuals with this excessive, crazy driving, the innumerable amount of temp tags, and running red lights? Nobody pays attention to stop signs. Every time I drive, as soon as the light turns green, people are blowing their horn at you constantly. Driving in the city of St. Louis has become extremely stressful. Residents in North St. Louis are out having an outcry, a tremendous outcry, needing assistance from the city and the state with funding, and that has not taken place whatsoever. People want, if their houses can be restored, people want to get access to the funds, whether it's SBA, Small Business Administration loans, or zero interest loans, or small percentage interest rate loans to restore their homes. The rate of homelessness has gone through the roof because there are thousands of individuals that cannot go back into their homes based on the sticker, whether it was red, yellow, or green. There has been a tremendous lack of support and resources that have come out of City Hall. And in actuality, through all the verbiage from City Hall and the aldermen and alderwomen, all the people that represent these different districts, there has been nothing to come out whatsoever. And I am at a dissolution where I don't understand now. She says starting Monday that the minority contracts, the new city construction contracts under its minority and women-owned business enterprises will not exist anymore. And this is all as a result of DEI. And here again, when you look at, if you want to talk about the definition of affirmative action that was instituted in the 70s, you would have to say to yourself, whether it's affirmative action or DEI, whether it was to Mayor Tashara Jones or Cara Spencer, both of them fill that void or check that box off for qualifications for affirmative action and DEI. And in actuality, statistically, since the inaction of affirmative action, more white females, more white women benefited from affirmative action than anybody. And then when you include this machination of DEI, which has everything to do with people of color, minorities, women, LGBTQ, people from Asia, Chinese individuals, people from India, they all are encompassing in that DEI. The DEI program was a wider version than affirmative action. But remember, the number one benefactor from affirmative action were white females. And now you have a situation where you have all this destruction in North St. Louis. and you're going to need new construction. And now Mayor Cara Spencer's administration is saying that minorities and women will not get a special seat to participate in the reconstruction and the remodeling and the reverberation of the city of St. Louis. I think that is a slap in the face. And it was designed to eliminate or to size down racism and discrimination. Well, to eliminate it, you just increased racism and discrimination. And on the other side of it, if you didn't have affirmative action and DEI in place, then what would you call it? DEI and affirmative action is no different than nepotism and legacy. St. Louis is definitely a city of who you know, not what you know. And that is a form of segregation. Depending on what school you went to, who you know, those are the kinds of favors that take place in many cities and definitely in St. Louis. So for affirmative action to be created and DEI to be created was to try to present somewhat of a level playing field and for the door not to be fully closed, not only for people of color, but also for women. And now we have reached a point in 2025, even under President Donald Trump's administration, who could care less about poor white people and or poor black people. He wants to close the door on minority participation and women participation in enterprises and definitely in construction. One of the number one things that we need as a result of the tornado is new construction. Construction companies, roofing, bricklayers, plumbers, electricians. We need all of them. And minority participation is very important. America is a melting pot of a gumbo of all folks to be inclusive. Now we're getting ready to go back to an exclusionary white male patriarchal system that has been established and has been in existence since the beginning of the United States and its emancipation. This is a terrible setback, and all of the things that Mayor Cara Spence said that she was going to do, that she said ex-Mayor Tashar Jones didn't do, I haven't seen Mayor Cara Spence do any of it. You definitely have to look at Elliot Davis after he retired from Fox. He has a great Facebook channel where he is putting all these issues out in the forefront. And actually, Elliot Davis should be our next mayor.